At 76, you learn one thing: to prevent a second heart attack. Truly, no good news ever comes from a phone call at 11 p.m. It was a Tuesday, with a light rain tapping against the window. On the other end of the line was John, my childhood friend. His voice was faint, lost in his heavy breathing. He said, "Harold. I'm doing everything they told me to." His voice broke. "I take my pills on time. I've cut out salt and sugar. I walk every morning. But why does it feel like there's an invisible stone pressing down on my chest? Why do I still jump out of my skin every time my heart skips a beat? Harold, am I living, or am I just existing?" I fell silent. That question, it hurt more than the surgical scar on my chest from years ago. Because I understood, I knew that feeling exactly. It's that feeling of absolute helplessness. When you're following every rule in the book for your heart attack recovery, but deep down, you know something is wrong. Something that no pill can ever touch. Life after a heart attack isn't a straight road, it's a maze. If you're watching this and John's words sound painfully familiar, please let me know by leaving a short comment. Even just a single period will do. So I know that we are not alone on this journey. That midnight call was the beginning of a quest. A journey that the two of us, two old men with one foot in the grave, decided we had to take for ourselves. To find the answers not in medical textbooks, but in our kitchens, in our sleep, and in the darkest corners of our minds. We discovered that to truly prevent a second heart attack, we had to avoid 10 deadly traps. 10 silent saboteurs that get in our way every single day. Most of us are falling into at least 5 of them. And I promise you, the last trap, the 10th one, was the one that stunned us the most. It's not something you eat, nor is it something you drink. It's an invisible enemy, and it's the most ruthless of all. Stay with me on this journey, and I will reveal it at the end of this video. For now, come back with me to that first morning, when I decided to knock on John's door. Our investigation, it began right inside his kitchen. The very place where the deadliest mistakes are disguised as healthy choices for senior heart health. When I walked into John's kitchen that morning, it was the healthiest kitchen I had ever seen. There was cereal and whole wheat bread on the counter. Low-fat milk in the fridge. Not a single can of soda, not a single bag of snacks. It looked like the textbook picture of a healthy diet. And that was precisely the problem. Because that picture-perfect kitchen was the most dangerous place for my friend's heart. He walked out holding a bright yellow bottle of cooking oil, a proud look on his face. "Look at this, Harold. I threw out all the old lard. I only use this stuff now. They say on TV it's good for the heart." I looked at the bottle of soybean oil in his hand. It was golden, crystal clear. But in my eyes, it was no different than a bottle of poison. I spoke softly to John. "John," I said, "have you ever seen an iron bar left out in the rain? Over time, it rusts. That process is called oxidation. This bottle of oil, and other industrial seed oils, create a similar kind of rust inside our blood vessels when they enter our bodies. People call that inflammation. Your healing heart doesn't need more rust, John. It needs good materials to repair itself, not things that worsen heart disease." He froze. Then he turned to his toaster and pulled out 2 slices of dark, whole wheat bread. "Well, I eat this whole wheat bread. This has to be good, right? It's full of fiber." I felt a pang of sympathy for him then. He was trying so hard. But his efforts were completely misguided. I pointed to the slice of bread and said, "John, imagine your heart is a precious engine. This slice of bread, just like white rice or other grains, turns into sugar very quickly inside your body. And sugar is like sand. You are pouring sand into an engine that needs to be lubricated. It will jam the machine, make it sluggish, and eventually, wear it out. I know what I've just said might go against everything you've heard for the last 30 years. If you also once believed that vegetable oils and whole wheat bread were the best choices for your health, let me know by typing the number 1 in the comments below. Just the number 1, so I know I wasn't the only one who held these beliefs. John sank into his chair, looking completely bewildered. He stared off into the distance, his eyes landing on a row of pill bottles lined up neatly on the table. So, what about these? He pointed to the biggest bottle. Calcium. The doctor told me to take it for my bones. Strong bones make a strong man, right? Ah. There it was. The missing piece of the puzzle that so many of us overlook. I picked up the calcium bottle and said to John. John, listen closely. Calcium is indeed the brick we use to build the house of our skeleton. But bricks can't get to the right place on their own. It needs 2 critically important helpers. The first is vitamin K2. Think of him as the traffic cop. His job is to direct the calcium straight into the bones, and strictly forbid it from wandering into dangerous places. And the second helper is magnesium. Think of him as the gatekeeper at the artery walls. His job is to slam the doors shut, preventing any stray calcium from getting a chance to enter and build up there. Now you think about it, John. You keep sending truckloads of brick calcium into your body, but you haven't hired the traffic cop, K2, or the gatekeeper, magnesium. What's going to happen? The bricks will be scattered everywhere, and their favorite place to end up is inside your artery walls. We call that calcification or arterial plaque. It's the number 1 enemy of a healthy heart. John put his head in his hands, his voice almost a whisper of despair. My God. So, everything I've been trying to do, it was all for nothing. Was I even hurting myself? I put my hand on his shoulder. I looked my friend straight in the eye. No, John. It wasn't for nothing. It was the first step. The step of realizing the map they gave us is old. Now, it's time for us to draw a new one. And we're going to start with this. But what we discovered in the kitchen was just the tip of the iceberg. The bigger secrets were waiting for us outside. During a fateful walk in the park. Let's take that next step together. There are 2 battles a man must face after a heart event. The first is the one you can see. The fight with your food, with your pills, with your fatigue. That's what we had just discovered in John's kitchen. But there is a second battle. An invisible one. It isn't fought on the dinner table, but in every breath, in every step, and every night of sleep. This is the battle that truly determines the success or failure of your recovery. And it was the one we were about to confront, right in this seemingly peaceful park. I looked at my friend, sweat soaking his brow even though the weather was cool. I knew this fatigue wasn't just from walking. I asked him a question I had suspected for a long time. John, I said, did you sleep well last night? Your wife, is she still complaining about your snoring? He waved his hand dismissively. Oh, that's nothing. All old men snore. I sleep like a log all night, don't know a thing. Did you hear that? I sleep like a log, don't know a thing. That is the most dangerous sentence. I looked straight at John, and this time, I couldn't beat around the bush. John, that snoring of yours, it's not nothing. It could be a sign of sleep apnea, and heart problems are directly linked to it. You don't know a thing, but your heart does. Your wife hears you snoring, but your heart is experiencing a series of drowning episodes. Every time you stop breathing, even for just a few seconds, your body is starved of oxygen. Your heart has to beat frantically in a panic to pump blood to save your brain. Your blood pressure skyrockets. And this happens dozens, even hundreds of times a night. You think you're sleeping, but your heart is actually fighting a life-or-death battle for 8 straight hours. No wonder you have no energy during the day. This is a very common problem, yet it is so often ignored. If you, or your partner, also snores loudly and often feels tired for no reason, please help me by typing the number 2 in the comments. Just the number 2, so we can raise awareness about this silent killer together. John fell silent. The dismissive look on his face was gone, replaced by a visible fear. He looked down at his own feet. So what am I supposed to do? The doctor said to exercise, but look at me, I feel like I'm going to collapse after a few steps. I'm scared. I'm scared it can't take it. I understand that fear, John. It's real. After a cardiac event, we tend to treat our hearts like a fragile piece of china, terrified it might break. But that is the 6th and 7th trap, deadly stillness, and the shock of exertion. Listen, John. The heart is a muscle. If you don't use it, it will weaken and shrink. But if you suddenly force it to work too hard, it will also fail. It's like an old, rusty car engine. You can't just floor the gas pedal. We don't need to run a marathon. We just need to practice the gardener's walk. Slow, but steady. Take a few steps, listen to your body. If you feel tired, you rest. 5 minutes today, 6 minutes tomorrow. Just like that. The goal is to lubricate the engine again, not to race against anyone. I handed John my water bottle. He took it, took a long sip, and then another. After he drank, he realized something. Thanks. My God, I haven't had a single drop of water all morning. And there, ladies and gentlemen, was the 8th trap. So simple it's unbelievable, yet so incredibly dangerous. We are hurting ourselves without even knowing it. John, imagine the blood in your body is a river. Water is what feeds that river. When you don't drink enough, the river starts to dry up, turning into thick, heavy mud. And your heart, that poor pump, has to strain with all its might to push that mud through your body to keep you alive. It's overworking itself for a very simple reason. You forgot to drink water. We slowly walked over to a bench under the shade of a large tree and sat down. In the kitchen, we found the enemies in our food. On the path, we found the enemies in our habits. But as we sat down on that park bench, we were about to face the biggest enemy of all. An enemy not of the body. It resides in a much deeper place. A place we were both afraid to go. Do you know what is heavier than a failing heart? It's the weight of a mind filled with fear. Everything we had just discovered, the cooking oil, the bread, the sleep, the water, they were all visible enemies. We could see them, touch them, and remove them. But there is another enemy, an invisible monster. It doesn't live in the kitchen, it lives right inside our heads. And that was what was truly killing my friend. John, I asked gently, are you scared? He didn't look up. But I saw his shoulders tremble slightly. For the first time in months, the defensive wall he had built around himself began to crumble. And to help him, I knew I had to be the one to open my heart first. I was like that, too, John. After my heart attack, I became a different person. I was scared of the sound of an ambulance siren. I was scared every time I had to climb the stairs. There were even nights when I'd wake up, my heart pounding, and I would lie motionless for hours, just listening. To see if it would stop beating. Fear had turned my own home into a prison. If you have ever felt that paralyzing fear, that feeling of being imprisoned by your anxiety about your heart, please let me know by typing the number 3 in the comments. You are not alone in this fight. My confession reached him. He looked up, his eyes red. Yes, Harold, he choked out, the words bitter. I'm scared. I'm scared to death. I'm scared that constraining pain will come back. I'm scared every time my wife looks at me with that worried expression. I'm scared of becoming a burden to my children and grandchildren. I'm not the strong John the First used to be. Who am I now, Harold? Just a weak old man waiting to die. There it was. The 9th trap. The prison of fear. It was what was eating John up from the inside. He had said it. The tumor of fear that he had hidden for so long. And when he said it, I knew he had begun his journey to healing. But there was one more thing. A poison that travels with fear. And are you often angry, John? I asked gently. Do you find yourself getting irritable with your wife, with your family, over nothing? He nodded, his voice full of regret. Yes. All the time. I hate myself for it. But I can't control it. I feel so helpless, and then I take it out on them. And that was the final trap. The 10th one. The poison of anger. This is the clearest example of the stress effects on the heart. I explained to John, every single time you get angry, even for just a few minutes, your body injects itself with a dose of a poison called cortisol. It constricts your blood vessels, makes your blood pressure spike, and sends your heart into a frenzy. It sabotages every single effort you are making. Fear consumes your mind. Anger poisons your body. These two monsters are more dangerous than high cholesterol or high blood pressure, because they attack you from the inside, at your most vulnerable moments. We both sat there in silence, letting all the words settle. The wind in the park seemed to quiet down. That day, on that old park bench, we didn't find a magic pill. We found our true enemy. And when you know your enemy's face, you've already won half the battle. The other half of the battle is learning how to fight. And that is a story of rebirth. A story I am about to tell you, right now. 6 months later, I got another call from John. This time, it wasn't in the middle of the night. It was on a bright Sunday afternoon. And on the other end of the line, there was no heavy breathing. Just the sound of wind and laughter. He said, Harold, where are you? Get to the park. Little Billy's kite is flying higher than anything. I went to the park. And I saw a completely different John. His face was full of color, his eyes sparkling with joy. He was no longer a patient just trying to survive. He was back to being a friend, a husband, and most importantly, a grandfather. He hadn't just gotten his health back. He had gotten his life back. Do you know why? It wasn't because of some magic pill. It wasn't because of a miracle. It was because every single day for the past 6 months, he learned how to avoid the 10 traps we discovered together. He threw out the rusting oil and replaced it with olive oil. He stopped pouring sand into his engine with bread, replacing it with eggs and avocados. He hired the traffic cop K2 and the gatekeeper magnesium to protect his arteries. He drank enough water and took his gardener's walk every day. He got his sleep apnea treated. And most importantly, he learned how to face the two monsters inside his mind. Every time fear crept in, he learned to take a deep breath, place a hand on his chest, and say, "Thank you for still beating." He turned fear into gratitude. Every time anger rose, he went out to the garden and watered a plant. He turned poison into life. He found a way to reverse heart disease naturally by changing his entire approach to living. John had redrawn his own. John's journey taught me a priceless lesson. And I don't want to keep it to myself. I spent weeks compiling all of those discoveries, all of that experience, into a guide I call Harold's Recovery Roadmap. It's more than just a list of things to do. It's a companion, a compass to help you navigate your journey to reclaiming your life. You can download it completely for free. I've put the link right in the description below this video. It's just one click away. Before I say goodbye, if my story and John's story today have given you even just a little bit of hope, would you please type the number 4 in the comments for me? The number itself doesn't mean anything, but it lets me know that we've made a connection. True recovery, ladies and gentlemen, isn't about going back to the person you were. Because the old you is what led you to where you didn't want to be. True recovery is about moving forward to become a wiser, stronger, and more grateful version of yourself. Take care of your heart, because your entire legacy resides within it. I'm Harold. And I believe in your new dawn.